Today, I'm going to be breaking down setting expectations with lead generation, specifically using Google Ads, because that's what I specialize in. If you're new here, welcome to my channel, Phil Ramos IL. I've been in the ad industry for almost 10 years, building PPC campaigns both nationwide and local, and also doing it for bigger agencies as well. So, today's topic is setting expectations with lead gen using Google PPC ads. So, why paid ads, right? Paid ads, they're just a necessary evil. What I found is that some clients, they don't like paying for traffic. Some people don't believe in Google ads. And even my niche specifically with wholesalers, they refuse to acknowledge paid marketing as a long term lever. And when they do that, they're leaving money on the table. So here's why. I have let's say two wholesalers. Wholesaler A selling lots of real estate, wholesaler B also selling lots of real estate. They're both hitting their calls weekly, they're doing their KPIs. So who's going to win long term, right? They're both doing the same things, but wholesaler A believes in doing Google ads and wholesaler B does not. So to save you the suspense, basically wholesaler A is going to win every single time because wholesaler B doesn't want to spend the extra money and invest into their own brand, into customer acquisition because it's a pay to play game. That's what Google Ads is. So, like it says right here, refusing to invest in paid marketing doesn't make you disciplined. It definitely caps your ceiling because you need to do everything in 2026. Okay, this is a good one as well. There's a couple caveats to it, but don't expect conversions right away. Especially if you're in a small market. If I were to set up campaigns for you, or if any other person or any other agency were to set up campaigns for your brand, what happens is that when the campaigns go on, there's a learning phase of 7 days. So, what Google is doing is taking all those signals, your copy, your landing page, your keywords, and it's putting together those signals to make sure that your ads get served to the right people on the internet, to the right searchers. So during that learning phase, it can take a while for your campaigns to ramp up. I've seen specifically mature accounts that have already been spending money. When I launch new campaigns inside of them, um, conversions still roll in during the learning phase, which means that you should take it with a grain of salt. I like to bring this one up. It's because the learning phase is a real thing. Markets are dynamic, and you're gonna make tweaks as you go. So you really got to let go of conversions right out the gate. Not saying that it can't happen, but when we're talking about digital marketing, paid marketing, acquiring customers, we're talking about data that needs to be analyzed and acquired and garnered inside your account, and someone needs to be managing those numbers. So it's never just why did it not convert right away. This is a big one too, and I'm going to shoot another video on this, but basically, market density determines your conversions. I'll say it again. Market density determines your conversions. So, density is also just a fancy word for search volume. Well, search volume is just the fancy word, but if you've ever dabbled around with Keyword Planner, um, market density is search volume. So, really, what does that mean? It's the foundation of the users in your market. So basically, when I'm setting up a new campaign or going into a new vertical, Google's Keyword Planner will give you a projection of search volume for either a website or keywords that you want to bid on. So let's say I want to bid on like dogs for sale in Florida. I can put that keyword inside of the keyword planner. And what it'll do is it'll spit back out some search volume. So that specific keyword for the month of, say, June in the summer, it might be 1,000 searches per month. So search volume just equals density, which also equals how many people in your market are searching for that keyword every month. Now, why is this important? Because if we have a low search volume and we're bidding on low search volume keywords, this means that we're not going to get as many leads versus if we have high search volume, it's a really dense market, and the numbers are high, we're going to get more conversions. Um, and then finally, for the third bullet point, pay to find the truth, right? So again, I'll harp on it again. Google Ads is pay to play. The keyword planner is great for planning projections, going into a new vertical, and just an overall high level guide of things. But at the end of the day, you pay or you choose to invest in the search terms that people in your market are searching for. And only you can tell whether that's valuable to you because you know your business best. Um, the search terms are really going to dictate paid search terms that you garner, that you spend your money on. That's what's really going to dictate your results, the results to you as a business owner. So again, bottom line, pay to play. The more you invest in testing, the closer you get to the real numbers for your specific market and setup. So another slight caveat, I've been in plenty of markets with my foundation being in real estate marketing. I've also done like gym ads, house cleaning. So because I've ran these ads in different markets, in different verticals, I have a good sense of what is going to convert already, just by running keyword planner projections and also looking at search terms historically over many accounts. So definitely, this is one of the reasons why you would want a PPC pro or a PPC manager, or at least an account manager looking over your account. Okay. So this is a good question too. You might get leads, or you've been in the position where you've gotten leads, but um, they're bad. Or we could say, AKA, they're bad, paraphrasing. So whenever I hear this, I like to go through my checklist of questions. I'll ask my clients the following. So, did you review your bad leads within the correct time frame? So if you're getting bad leads, the first thing you want to do is pull up your CRM, pull up your data, and look at every lead within a specific time frame. So if you had live ads live for 2 weeks, set your CRM date to 2 weeks and go through every single one and see and try to identify, is this a bad lead? Is this a spam lead? Because you can clearly tell, right? So what we're doing here is that we're actually pinpointing what makes the leads quote unquote bad. Like vague complaints, like the leads weren't good. That's not really great. Um, we have to identify and look at what's going on at the data, what's wrong inside of the account before we ever come to the verdict of, are the leads bad. And then another two things that I see with this issue is that sometimes salespeople need training. We all need training. Sales is a never-ending game. Your salesperson might have gotten a few leads that week, but they could have dropped the ball because they weren't trained right. They're just new for whatever reason. And then follow up, right? Speed to lead. How fast are you getting to your leads once they roll into your CRM or once the lead hits your account? Are you getting to it within, I don't know, say 5 to 10 minutes? Because if not, I can guarantee you that that lead is going on to the next contact form submission, which is your competitor. And if your competitor gets it to it faster than you, then that's money on your end, that's loss. And then finally, what you can do here is have follow up systems in place. So if you're not able to get to the leads, maybe you don't have an assistant, you don't have time to answer all of them yourself, you must have, or I highly advise that there's a follow up system in place, at least like maybe an automation flow, text message flow, or email flow, something of that nature, so that something's still there and you're acknowledging that customer when they come in looking for the solution to their problem, which is your business. Okay. So finally, this is just a little more mashup of the previous slide. You really got to answer those questions when you're seeing bad quality. It's more so diving deeper. So you got to audit your follow ups. You have to define with bad data. Look and see, like, did you get a lot of clicks that week? Did you get a lot of conversions that week? Do the conversions line up with your CRM form submissions? And then also, again, salesperson performance and the systems. So those are a couple things that are out of my control. What I specialize in is generating you the qualified lead, and then once it hits your ecosystem, that's up to you to close it. So the bottom line, what most operators do, they just say our Google ads are bad. Let's pause the campaigns. What you should do um, is have somebody go through the data with you and say, hey, look, conversion rate is lower than expected. Let's do an audit. Let's review the calls. Let's check the landing page. It's all one big puzzle. And you can work on each piece of the puzzle by clearly identifying where things are wrong in the funnel, whether it's your keywords, your copy, your landing page, etc. But we got to remember that Google Ads is just a big data machine. What we put inside dictates what we get in the output. So do the hard work to dig deep through your campaigns and really try to understand what's going on. And yeah, I just wanted to bring to light this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking for a PPC person to manage your campaigns, I'm your guy.